Shane Dawson made his return back to making a series on his YouTube channel yesterday. He's grabbed his old bestie Jeffree to join him once again, and it's definitely not the series I was expecting them to make together. The duo hasn't made a series together since 2019, when the world went from loving them to canceling them in only a matter of months, following the biggest makeup launch for Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Shane has been saying for a while now that he's been itching to do another series, and Tuesday he decided to dust off the boots and get a series going. I heard rumors that the series was going to be about Jeffree's yak meat and exposing the meat industry. I mean, it made sense to me in my mind, since Jeffree has been promoting his yak meat and he had been in a little bit of drama because of it, so I thought Shane was taking the opportunity to do a whole series on it. I mean, the two of them were on the farm at Jeffree's Wyoming ranch together, filming TikToks and videos, so I just assumed it has to be about the yaks. It has got to be. What else could it be? And the title of the series that Shane was teasing was this, The New World of Jeffree Star. And when I'm looking at it, it looks like The New World of Jeffree Star. Like, we are going to be talking about the farm. So, I mean, I thought the rumors were true, but as of right now, it looks like they were way off. I mean, maybe they'll get into it later, but the way this series is being set up, it seems like some people are about to be making a purchase, and it's not meat-related products. So when I sat down to watch the series, it was certainly a shock to find out that this series was about makeup, and the fact that Jeffree and Shane have this secret second palette that they made together. Yes, you guys, I felt like I was being transported back in time when I saw the clips of these two in the lab, swatching colors, freaking out, naming shades and everything. It was literally, I was getting deja vu.
Wait, oh my god. That is crazy.
So, I didn't even know. I'm dying.
Wait, I love it.
Fucking mannequin.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Yes. So we separate
Yeah.
and... But I think it's getting there. I think it's getting there. I really like how
really
those look. It's getting really close.
The series as of right now is Shane talking about how him and Jeffree started working on a second palette shortly after the release of their 2019 Conspiracy palette. The palette was a massive hit and made tons of money, but Shane wanted to detail a lot of what went on after he stopped posting and secrets him and Jeffree kept from the public. He wanted to touch on the topic of people also thinking he did the original palette as a cash grab, and that was it. Since from the looks of it, Shane had made the palette, didn't really want to finish the series after the palette went on sale and sold out, and then he stopped posting after the series finished. Yeah, he said he was taking a break, but he never posted on the beauty channel that he said he was going to post on, and it definitely left people very suspicious of his actions.
If I wanted to do a money grab, like, I've never done anything.
You could do so many ways to do that, yeah.
Yes, so many easier ways. Like, I wouldn't have done a year-long documentary about it. I wouldn't have spent my whole life editing it. I wouldn't have almost lost my relationship over it because I was editing 24 hours a day and not giving him any attention. I wouldn't have, literally, like, that was the hardest and most intense year. And it's like for a palette, but really it was for the series. Like, that was my passion, was that series and making this series about this palette. The palette was just like a physical product at the end of it that I could keep forever.
He wanted to say that he didn't make as much money as people think he did. Certainly not enough to retire, but he did make a good amount. Just not as much as everyone thinks he did. And he truly did love the palette and fell in love with makeup and really put his whole heart and soul into the Conspiracy palette, the process and everything. So he says that it really upsets him to hear people say that it was all for money.
People thought I made like $10 or $20 million on it. I did not.
And financial stuff aside, like being very honest, the first palette did very well, but the cost of goods is crazy. So like, yes, the palette made like 30 million whatever dollars, but then the cost of goods was literally $20 million.
My cut, my 25% or whatever it was after so many cuts. And then after that, and then I gave my coworker at the time 25% of what I made from it. So after all was said and done with taxes and everything, yeah, it was a great amount of money that I'm so blessed and proud of and so grateful for, because it helped with getting this house in Colorado. And, you know, but like, was it like I can retire now money? No.
Ryland's mom also spent time in this series defending Shane and saying that whenever the conversation comes up that he did it all for money, she really is upset by that because she saw how passionate Shane was about makeup at the time and the whole creative process, how much she loved it, and she really wanted to talk about it.
But for people to say it was a money grab has just always made me so mad, because to me it was more about, gosh, let's see really what we can do here together and what will happen if we do this. It wasn't like, oh yeah, let's get rich off of this whole makeup thing. That wasn't it at all. It was more excitement, and it was excitement for the whole family.
Now, this all leads Shane to say that him and Jeffree did have plans to make that other palette, and they were doing just that in February of 2020 when things were still looking up for them. They created the whole palette, named it and everything, but they didn't release it. COVID hit, and then soon after they were both canceled. And Shane even said during that cancellation that he was quitting the beauty world. In 2020, when him and Jeffree were called out by Tati Westbrook, accused of planning the Bye Sister video and also ruining James Charles' life, Shane went on Twitter to say his final thoughts on the beauty world. And he ended it by saying, "As for my channels, I'm done with the beauty world." Shane says him and Jeffree didn't move forward with that palette, but when searching for a new topic to do a video series on recently, he thought about it, and now he's sharing the process of making that second palette.
Basically what happened was, me and Jeffree were gonna do another palette. And we literally made it. Like we don't have the finished packaging, but we have the actual palette. And that was like back in February of 2020. Then obviously everything happened, and then on top of that COVID and just so many other things. So I ended up saying like, let's not do this. Texted Jeffree and I was like, hey, I kind of think we should show it. Talk about what happened. And also like, you know, I don't know, it could be kind of cool because I love it. I wish we would have made it, but I also now after everything, I'm happy we didn't. But I asked him about it because I don't know if he would want to even do that.
And he's going to fly to Wyoming to interview Jeffree about this palette and what happened to it, and the entire story behind the name and everything.
I think it would be really cool.
Oh my god.
The irony of it all, the name of it, everything is just nuts, honestly. Like, it wasn't just a name. There's so many double entendres, and it's so crazy looking back, so would love it.
And the way that Jeffree is talking about it makes it seem like everything kind of ties together with how they were canceled and the palette. So I'm wondering what's gonna happen. The whole thing is making me wonder if by the end of the series, they will actually go ahead and drop this palette and try to sell it. I truly wonder if after everything that has happened, that is what the series is leading up to. I'm sure Jeffree is down to at least try and put it out. I mean, who knows if anyone is even interested at this point with all that has happened. And honestly, I mean, I'm shocked this is even something to consider here, because I thought Shane had truly closed the door on the beauty world, but this is where my mind is going with this. I thought it was risky for Shane to even be doing a series with Jeffree after everything that's happened, but to put out a product with him? I'm being transported, you guys. Honestly, now that I think about it, this seems to be the year of people who have been canceled trying to get back out there. David is opening his pizza shop, James Charles is about to launch a makeup brand, and now these two are working together again and maybe selling a palette together? We have truly been sent back in time, you guys, and I really want to know what you think about all of this, because it's quite crazy to think about. I mean, truly. I will say that Shane has been getting some love on the series, and it definitely is surprising to some. Shane has been getting a lot of love via Ryland's channel in general, so I'm really not shocked that he is getting as much support on this as he is. And there are a lot of people saying that they do want this palette, so I'm really wondering if that encouragement will drive them to actually go through with making this and selling it again, even if it's like a limited time, like small release and nothing like the first one, because I don't think they could really repeat that. A lot of people are surprised to see this after everything that's happened, that he is getting as much love as he is, and he is acknowledging it on his Instagram story. He said, "My heart, thank you YouTube for supporting this series and for being my home for so many years, and thank you at Jeffree Star for being such a constant source of creative inspiration in my life. Love you." And this video was trending #1 on YouTube. YouTube was totally supportive of this, and he was also sponsored in this video, which I was surprised about. But I mean, Shane is back, and maybe he's back in the beauty world too.
I have the palette here. It's in... This isn't the palette, by the way. This is just from Amazon. It's like a magnet thing, but inside is the palette, so I have to make sure that this does not break. Oh my god, I can't believe we're doing this. I can't believe this turned into an actual thing. Like, this video started as a joke.
So it's definitely a wild time, and I definitely want to know what you guys think is going to happen as a result of this series. Do you guys think they are actually going to put this palette out there, or do you think they're just going to be showing the behind the scenes of everything that they did but didn't put out? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.